Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Okay, so follow me on Twitter. Please do. It's Matchka King or Scotty Boy Rules. Either one I think will work to find me. I'm on there. Please follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to get this to go on. Also on Instagram. Scotty Boy Rules on Instagram. I don't do much on Instagram. Look at stuff. But I tweeted out. I got the number wrong. First of all, I said it was 15. I swear I did 15. I even looked at my playlist, and it said there was 15 videos. But it was counting the 28 weeks later that no longer exists. It was still technically an unavailable video in the playlist. So I had 14. But I figured I was gonna start halfway. That's my whole thing. I'm halfway through the picks that I had, so it's a good time to stop and just say that Sequel-A-Thon II has come to an end. But I did 14, and so Sequel-A-Thon 3, which I'm hoping to do in August or September-ish, August most likely, will contain 16 reviews. I want to break things up by releasing some MyGM stuff. By this time, I'm not sure when I'm releasing it. I could have all of them, at least all of them uploaded, but I don't know, because I'm releasing the first episode today on Monday. That'll be out. And episode 2 on Tuesday, 3 Wednesday, 4 Thursday, and 5 on Friday. This is going to go up right away whenever I'm done uploading those. So whatever day that is. I have to rank the movies that I watched for the Sequel-A-Thon II. Yeah, so this is a very interesting thing to go through. There were some good ones, there were some bad ones. Starting off at number 14, the worst of the bunch, is Dumb and Dumber When Harry Met Lloyd. I more thought about it. It was between this and my number 9 pick, but the more I thought about it, I think this is the worst one because Dumb and Dumber 2, the actual sequel, goes out of its way to change the backstories of the characters so that this never actually happened. Like here, they say that Harry was raised by a single mother. They retconned it in the second one. He was adopted by an Asian couple, and here Lloyd was raised by the janitor, but he mentions his mother in the Dumb and Dumber 2. So, and the actors are okay at copying the performances, but it's just there's some gags we have to do from the first film to say, hey, this is connected to that, and just they try to one up that toilet scene, which can't be one upped. And Dumb and Dumber 2 didn't even try to do that either, so trying to one up it, but it just doesn't make any sense. He would smell the chocolate, you know what I mean? People say it's the best scene in the movie, and it's ruined when you really think about it. Like, why would you think it's shit? The more you think about it, Bob Saget's character in this is a dumbass for not realizing. We're thinking just because it's brown, that means it's shit. But, yeah. Number 9, Airplane 2, the sequel. This is just rehashing everything from the first one, and it doesn't work. You've lost Leslie Nielsen, which was like the bright star in your first film. He's not here anymore, and so you're just trying to recreate things. You bring back most of the characters you can, but it's just sort of meh. It's just sort of trying to recreate everything from the first film, and it doesn't work. And I honestly thought the whole going into space thing was kind of, they say it's the future, but no one's aged, and they keep saying back in 1980. It's only 1982. The future. Number 8 is Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. And like I said, this is the one that was always on TV, and I'd put it on in the background or whatever. Rewatching this, I never thought it was better than the first one. Rewatching this, I know it's not better than the first one. Jim Carrey is just going way too far into his act with this. And there's a reason why he didn't do any more sequels after this, because he says it becomes a parody of what you've already done. And very obviously is what it was. It's more like he's parodying his performance from the first one. And even the whole twist with it was the guy who hired him the entire time, Okay, sure. He's afraid of bats, but he loves all animals, so it's confusing. But yeah. Number 11. Oh, I was doing 10. Number 14. Let me redo that. Number 14, number 13, and number 12. Okay? I'm used to doing top 10s. Okay? 12. Number 11, Cruel Intentions 2. It's not terrible, but I just feel like after thinking about it for a few days, right? I enjoyed it. You know, I had that. It has a direct-to-video quality. Obviously, it looks like it's made for TV. And the more I thought about it, the more, I really can't be invested in the character of Sebastian. Well, we know he gets his redemption in the first film, and we know that he's trying to change, but we know he's not going to. By the end of the film, we know he's going to be being a bad dude. So yeah, and the twist with the two girls running on it together is it's basically redoing the first film if you think about it. But you have Sebastian and Catherine. She is just essentially supposed to be Reese Witherspoon's character, but ends up being not, and then this ends up kind of being Reese Witherspoon's character, or she could be some of Blair's character as well. I don't know. And the whole thing with it being implied that they had a threesome means it takes away from the whole reason why Sebastian makes the bet with Catherine in the first one to begin with. Because he wants to have her. He wants to bet her. He wants to sleep with her. If they already did it, then why is it his conquest? You know? I don't know. Unless she just sort of... How do I say this without being... Unless, he only went to town on her, and while she was eating you-know-what. Catherine's you-know-what. I don't know. It's just... Sorry. I'm trying to be as... But... I don't know. It's just implied that they all three did it together. And so it just doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, after that weirdness, number 10 is Dumb and Dumber 2. And like I said in my review, it's a movie that up till now I'd only seen half of, and not one half, just half period. But it's not bad. They still have great chemistry together, Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey, and they're still great with their comedy. But by the end of the movie, the whole reason why they're going on this road trip to begin with kind of just doesn't matter. I know you can say that about the first one too, because he's going there, but we know the entire time that she has a husband. Basically, we know about the ransom. We know everything about it the first time. In this film, they treat it as a twist that Harry doesn't need a kidney. And I forgot to mention in my review for this that when Lloyd got his own kidney removed, it's actually a pork chop. But yeah, it's not bad. Number 9, Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's the worst of the three, but it's not terrible in my opinion. I think it works. I think the comedy still works for me. I think Eddie Murphy's still good, but it really is not the best one. It's the worst one. It's the whole Wonder World or whatever it's called. It's basically parodying Walt Disney. It's fun, but I don't know. It seems like there's more sneaking into Wonderworld than there is actual action and stuff. It's a little more watered down, but it's still fun. At one point, I was wondering if it was still rated R until he started putting out some F-bombs halfway through the movie, but it's still fun. Keep that to the side, because number 8 is, let's see, hold on, let's put it where it goes here. Number 8 is going to be Cruel Intentions 3. And I actually enjoyed this, if not sort of like a remake. But I like the idea. I would have liked if maybe okay, the back of this messes up the names. It says that Jason is played by Nathan J. Weatherton, and Patrick is played by Kurt Smith. It's the other way around. I'd like it better if Patrick wasn't just an outright douchebag, like an outright like Sebastian was a douchebag. He's a lovable douchebag, right? Outright, this guy is scum of the earth. He is the scum of the earth, whole thing. I appreciate how it all comes to a full circle at the end, but I do think that Jason and Cassie should have got together at the end. They were very close, and to say that we weren't actually very close, we was just trying to trick him. No, that was more than just a trick. There was more than that. There was something between them. Obviously, something between them. They should have got together at the end, but they got to keep on. Maybe they were planning on doing a fourth one with these same characters. I don't know, but I like it. All right. Number 7 is Fright Night 2, New Blood, which should just be Fright Night New Blood because it's not really a sequel. It is another remake, but it's not bad. The practical effects stuff they use is pretty good. There's not much for CGI. The female Jerry Dandridge is all right. Her acting is pretty good. Setting it in Bucharest or in Romania, because it was filmed in Romania, so they just set it there. The castles and stuff, because they actually filmed in Romania, is pretty cool. But I hated the Peter Vincent character in this, and this is from someone who loved Roddy McDowell's version and liked David Tennant's version. The version, I hated him. He's terrible. He's running away. I know Peter Vincent himself in the original was a scaredy cat, but this guy makes both versions of them seem like the bravest people in the world. The Cowardly Lion is more brave than this guy. I mean, come on. Number 6, American Psycho 2, which is not really connected. I didn't hate this like everyone else does, because I think of it, because I already, I didn't already know, but I kind of figured like something was going on, so I started looking up stuff. Like, okay, it's not really a sequel. They added the Patrick Bateman stuff. It's kind of obvious from watching this, but it's not bad. Yes, most of the kills are a cutaway. You can't kill someone. You can't choke someone with a condom. It would break. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. Number 5 is the movie I reviewed twice, technically, 28 weeks later. Like I said, it's on par with the first one. The actors do a great job, I think. The whole rage thing. The cinematography is better than the first one, I'll tell you that much. It doesn't look like someone pissed on a negative. But, Don, much like the Peter Vincent from Fright Night 2, big pussy running away from his wife, and then an idiot for not making sure his wife wasn't infected before he kissed her, just assuming she wasn't because she wasn't raged out. But yeah, and I like how it's more about the kids than it is like the first one's about a family coming together, and this is like a family torn apart and the kids trying to survive, and I like that. I like Jeremy Renner in this, and I like Rose Byrne in this. They're both good. Number 4 is The Last Exorcism Part 2. I think I kind of like this better than the first one. I watched this in the dark for reference, and I think it worked. Watched this in the dark. It was very creepy. There's moments. There was a lot of times I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't, except for the thing with the boyfriend, where she goes outside and we're not him. That creeped me out, especially in the dark. And it wasn't bad. I think this is a great. I would like to see what they would have known with the third one, because they were planning on making a third one, but this one didn't do so good, so they didn't make one. I'd like to know what they would do, because it's very conclusive at the end that apocalypse time, end of the world, fire everywhere. So I don't know what they would have done, but. At number 3, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Beverly Hills Cop 2, better than trying to get justice for Bogomil, Ryan Cox, not really in the movie that long. We had one scene because he was busy with other things. I think he didn't come back for 3, that's for sure. But I like all 3 of them together. All 3 of them are on the case. They're solving things. That's what I didn't like about the third one, is that they brought in this new guy, right? And he's barely like part of the team. It's just him and Billy most of the time. But here, all three of them are there. You know, Axel, Billy, and Taggart, they're all working together, teamwork, trying to, do this. And fun shootout at the end of the movie. That's a fun shootout, you know. But was that the first one as a shootout? I thought there was one here too. I don't know. Yeah. Number 2, City Slickers 2. The Legend of the DVD is still in the Blu-ray player. Legend of Curly's Gold. As a sequel to the first one, I think this works. I think both of these you can watch back to back and have a great time. They don't explain what happened to Ed, but I like the whole brother thing where they're trying to, brothers getting along. I have a brother. And, bringing Jack Palance back to play Curly's twin, never before mentioned twin brother, and the whole thing at the end with, oh, there's not really treasure, and then, yes, I found that there is treasure, and so there was treasure. I wonder if he actually shared with Phil and Glenn after they found the treasure, like they shared with them, or they're like, fuck them, we're rich, but yeah. And number 1, no surprise if you watch my reviews, Short Circuit 2, Johnny 5, number 1. Yeah, I love this movie. All right, beginning to end. I found the soundtrack, the score to this, on YouTube. I was listening to the opening. I listened to it a couple times yesterday. It's fun to listen to. Yeah, I love this movie, man. What can I say? Like, as much as you call out the character of Ben for being racist, which it is, I like the character, okay? I like it. So sue me. I know it's racist. I agree with that, but I like the character. I like what Fisher Stevens did with that character. He's funny. He's legitimately funny. And the addition of Fred Ritter in this is also funny. And the way that they take it so seriously when the robot is getting disassembled is just, it's terrifying. And just when Fred finds him, he's just like, oh, 5. You feel bad for this robot because he just wants to be normal human, and by the end he does become a citizen. But yeah, that's my number 1. So, what are your thoughts on my ranking? What's your ranking of these 14 specific movies? Yeah, so I'm gonna do some things here and there. I got jam mode being uploaded. I have a few movies I want to finish from last year because I still haven't done the ranking from that. Which I need to find my other notebook that has all the lists in it, but excuse me. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.